晚的夜晚。甲乙洋人乙庚乙。
I have one thing to tell you. It was a really sweet story. It was essentially, from what I took from it, was about this grandfather just doing what he can to help out his grandson, who he's worried about because he is um, nonverbal at the moment and he's not eating or drinking anything. So he, yeah, goes to see the psychic and follows her instructions. And he's just a really interesting character, and I think that he's really fun to watch. There was also, this theme of photographs. Um, we meet the photographer, but we also see that the grandfather has a wall of photos of his wife that has passed. Um, and, he gets a photo with the grandson, and that's kind of the key to him getting back on track with his health. So there's this theme of photography and like capturing moments and how they hold memories. So I thought it was really sweet. I thought it was beautifully shot. The lighting was stunning. The location was it was dreamy and beautiful and really just well lit. Um, Very beautiful film to watch with a lovely story. Great job.
I have one thing to tell you. Well, actually, I have more than one thing to tell you. But I enjoyed the film. I think that the locations that they chose were absolutely lovely. All of the actors did such a great job. The camera setups, all of the editing, the music that they added, it was all really, really great. The story was a little bit hard to understand. It was a little confusing as far as kind of what was going on and what was happening, but it was really intriguing. And I think that it was really interesting what was going on. I'm not sure if I'm not really sure what happened with the story, but I know that I enjoyed watching this.
I have one thing to tell you is very interesting, uh, in the sense that I feel like it definitely delves into the aspects of kind of that superstition that a picture is a gateway into one's soul. Uh, it was very interesting seeing the grandfather on his quest to basically bring his grandson back, uh, and for it to be a picture that brings him back, uh, with the link to the fact that he essentially lost his wife, and the only thing he had left to remember her with were the pictures. Uh, it was all very fascinating, but I definitely enjoyed my time watching it.
I have one thing to tell you. This was another a great touching piece, I'd say, a touching short. I really love how it was shot, but overall I really liked how the main characters behaved throughout the film. The grandfather, I think it was a very lovely and kind person, great character. He was responsible for the photographer's flat tire just because he wanted to have the photographer around a little bit more, taking pictures of him and his family, and then ended up taking a picture with the grandson, because of the grandfather lost his wife long time ago, and then his kids went living somewhere else, so it was just feeling lonely. He just wanted to have somebody else with him, and he's just there waiting for his grandson to recover. So I think overall it was a very touching story, and it really gave me some deep emotions and deep feelings. I really felt it. So overall I think it was a very well done short. Congratulations.
I have one thing to tell you. I thought this was really, really beautiful. I thought it was really, really amazing. I love that they highlighted, the lengths you'll go to what you'll believe, what you'll do, you know, how far you'll travel, or, you know, what lengths you'll go to, you know, do what you have to do for family, do what you have to do for, you know, people that you love. And it's not necessarily in, you know, just romantic relationships. It can be any kind of relationships. It's, you know, any type of people that you have deep care for, deep respect for, deep love for, especially when it's unconditional love. And this just kind of highlighted that in a really, really beautiful way of, you know, the kind of journey that you're willing to go to for somebody else, the kind of journey that you're willing to take, you know, for somebody else, or a part of, as like, you know, yeah, for somebody else, for somebody you love. And I thought that was really, really well documented and really, really beautifully done.
All right, so I just finished watching. I have one thing to tell you. I ended up enjoying this piece. I thought it had a really grounded and relatable feel and aesthetic that I thought was very endearing. I thought that the small town, sort of countryside, rural aspect of the narrative really gave it a nice sense of style and made it inherently relatable. And I thought it was easy to sort of get into the style of humor that was on display, even if the story was a little bit meandering, not all the way clear. I know the main character has some issues with the farm animals, and I thought there was a lot of sort of humor being mined from everyday dynamics with your family, with being working, trying to figure out what really matters, where you should be putting your time and energy. I thought a lot of the ideas towards the end with the son, with the grandson, sort of reflected that. And I thought ultimately it was just really well acted, more than anything. All the characters and all the actors on screen were really natural. I thought the dynamic between the characters were very natural. And I felt like it was just like dropping into the story as opposed to watching a production of a story. And I thought that it worked out well because the settings and the locations were so beautiful, and there was such a natural setup between the environment and the story being told. A lot of good shots from like CC cameras. And I just thought it just made it feel like a very organic piece, and I thought it contributed to why the overall themes in terms of family and life ended up working so well for me, even if the plot itself wasn't all the way filled with clarity in terms of the big picture intent. But I ended up enjoying it. Thought it was funny, and more than anything, I thought the production value was quite high, especially visually and musically as well. So I ended up enjoying it.
The filmmakers were able to capture how far someone will go to save someone they love. This grandfather was just so endearing that he was willing to even commit a crime, slicing someone's bicycle tires in order to save his grandson based on what a fortune teller said. It made him so endearing. The way he did it was comical, to the point where you thought maybe Grandpa might have been a little senile, but instead it shows that he will go to the ends of the earth to save his grandchild. And that really is a way to touch people's hearts. Because he might seem like a crazy old man, but really he's doing whatever he can for his family to survive.
I have one thing to tell you. Well, I like the opening of this movie, the landscape, the setting. Nice opening scene with the grandfather frantically walking and the cyclists going by. It really sets the stage for the type of village that these characters come from. A good story set with old Asian culture and a little bit of new with the young man that's a photographer. And the people have little, but they value their family relationships and their members. They also have the spiritual element in there with Lady Future, and she was wonderful in her part. Humorous moments like the grandfather and his sister debating back and forth. Those were good. Those were really relatable. I enjoyed those. And the touching scenes of the family portrait in the grandfather's home while he's sitting down and eating with the photographer. And the little boy mentioning his grandmother in a dream, who he knows long deceased, but did she visit him? Was she like an angel helping him to be well? Nice story.